Hello, my friends. Welcome back into another episode of The Living Room Guitarist, a show dedicated to our instruments, our 6-string, 12-string, acoustic, electric, bass, whatever you love to play. Just take your musical me time and enjoy and express yourself musically. It's so good for us to do that. So I'm Dan, your humble host, and I use that word humble very seriously this week. The last several days have really been, some of the most humbling and gratifying experiences of my life as a, guitar playing person at least. I'll tell you the backstory here. By the way, I'm calling this the Rodney episode. I'm going to tell you why. A few weeks back, I got an email, a very nice, kind email from a gentleman named Rodney. Rodney is 77 years old. He's retired. He lives somewhere in the South, in a southern state, and he said in his email, I don't know how he actually got turned on to the show. He didn't mention that, but he said in his email, listen, I started writing an up-tempo number for you. He actually said that, an up-tempo number based on what I see your playing style is, which, of course means, amateur hack probably. But so, we set up a Zoom call and we got on with him, and turns out Rodney is retired again, and he had a former long career as a professional session guitarist. He was a gun for hire, basically. He played some pretty big recording studios. He was telling me, some of the people he's recorded with and worked for over the years back from the 60s, 70s, 80s. And I'm thinking, wow, we've got to have you on the show. Come on in. We've got to hear your story. This will be great. And he keeps batting me away. No, listen, that's not what I'm about. I'm over all that. I'm retired. I just like to go out on my boat. And he was just a super nice guy. But he says, quote, he actually said an up-tempo number. He had this riff, and he was willing to teach it to me, and I could share it with people, and that was really nice. So I said, okay, great, we'll do that if you not really wanted to come on the show. So it's just a riff that he had, and he played it for me, and I sat there and I watched him with my jaw dropped, and I'm like, Rodney, I don't know which episodes you saw of this show, but what makes you think I'm capable of doing what you just did there on that fretboard? Can you dumb that down for me a little bit, please? So he was such a nice guy. You could tell he just loved what he did. You could see the joy in his face, and he was just kind of at one with his instrument. It was so nice to see. I was so humbled, and I'm just like, I am so not worthy. So I'm going to play what he taught me. He spent so much time with me. I can't thank him enough. Rodney, I can't thank you enough, really. Because I'm just an amateur living roomer. You are a pro, and I mean, really. So I'm going to play the version that he taught me. He spent so much time there. I mean, the Zoom actually kicked us off because we went over time. We had to log back in, and he was so patient with me. And so I'm going to play what I got, and, probably going to mess it up here and there, but I'll talk through it as best I can. And Rodney, this is for you, and I'm sorry you couldn't come on, but listen, I get it. I know that part of your life is over, and you're enjoying your retirement, and God bless you. Thank you so much for offering this to me. I'm just so humbled and grateful. I can't express that enough. So Rodney had this tune, and it was kind of plucking out this open D and G here, and then he's kind of just kind of fingering that first and second fret there, and that's how it kind of opened. And I'm not going to play the version he gave me because it was too technically skilled for me, to be quite honest. But here's what I got from it. Something like that. I mean, I made a mess of it, but you know, I probably wasn't really ready. I could have used another week of to practicing and working with this to get a little bit more competent, because it was. I mean, I played the dumbed down, simplified version, because he was down here on this, you know, 10th and 12th fret, and he was doing these, and just and then back to the 7th, and then he was just jamming. It was so much fun to watch him. You could just see the joy. But again, he taught me again the dumbed down version that I begged him for. So it starts here, just again, the D and the G string. The D is open, and you're just gonna just pluck those two strings together, and it's 1 and 2 on the 4th string down, and then bring it to 4 and 5, slide back to 2. Come down here, and he was doing this fingering thing here, which is, I guess it's a version of a D, but it's the open D string, and then 2nd fret, 4th string down, and then that 2nd string up on the 5th fret, and just bring it back, that B string, and bring it back here to the 3rd fret, and then 2nd fret. So here, and then he's coming into a 7th here, the E7, but he's going back to an E. Right? He was telling me, I think I'm going to quote him verbatim. He says, "I see you like to play 7ths, so I threw a lot of 7ths in there for you." And there are more coming, but so it just starts here again. He was bringing in that 4th string down on the 2nd fret as he was just playing that E chord, and then he was just having me do a little fill to like an A. So it's 2nd fret, 1st string, and just kind of open, and then 2nd string. Yeah, that's it. And then he was doing a quick little fill to get to an E, and it was 2nd string open, and then 3rd string just kind of, and 4th string. That's what I was having some trouble with there at the beginning. So he was going back and forth. I'm going to have to practice that one, but it's really just going back and forth from an A to an E with these tiny little fills. Then he'd come in here and do this old sort of different version of an old blues lick. We'd come down to this A and just sliding back really quick to get to that E. And he'd come back here to that opening. It's not a song, it's just kind of a jam, a little riff or something, but it was so much fun just to watch him, and then, you know, see what he had to adjust to dumb it down for me. It was really fun. So back to the, so E, F sharp, A, C, A, and then that little fill to an E, so you just hit that open A string. And then he got to a point, again, he's coming back here a couple times. And then he was getting to a point where there was, I don't know, I think it might be like a, he was playing a lot of open string above these things, and I think it might be like a D Dorian type of scale, but he was just trying to. So that, yeah, I think that's a D Dorian scale, maybe, but he was playing an open E at the beginning, so 2nd string out on the 7th fret, and he was just kind of strumming downward, just kind of a, and he was just coming down fourth string, fourth fret, third string down, and just plucking that open A with it, and just walking it up on that third string down, 4, 5, 7, and then bring it down one string here, so open D, and then I don't know if he was hitting that 7th fret there. I'll have to go back and look. So I think this is a version of a D7. So it's 2nd string, 5th fret, 3rd string down, 4th fret, and then 5th fret, 5th fret. So you think about a D7 here, just a slightly different fingering. So it rings a little differently, but that's what it is. So it's here. Coming back to an A and just pulling the whole thing off those 3 strings. So just an A and pull off to what's basically an open G, and then hit that A flat basically and back to it. And then you just finish on that A. And again, that's the shortened, very abbreviated version, because he was down here playing all kinds of fills around there that were just a little whoosh, too over my head. So that's kind of what it is. Rodney, I just can't thank you enough. You were just such a gentleman and just way cool to do this for me and have it here for our fellow living roomers who could probably play his original version a lot better than I could, but I had to have something that I could present, with some level of competence here. So the Rodney episode, thank you so much. I am humbled and grateful. When he was telling me some of the folks he's just recorded with and played for back in the day, I was like, wow, it's so impressive. So thanks for lending some street cred to the show, Rodney. I'll play this out a little bit from what I can remember. Thanks for joining us on The Living Room Guitarist. Hope you'll bring your living room material in if you've seen this and can develop it further into something, or anything you've seen on a past show that we've done, a piece of music that I presented or one of our other guests presented, and you kind of put your own spin on it and made it your own. Bring it in. We'd love to hear what you've done and watch you play and be impressed by you just as a living roomer. We're mostly amateur players here, We're not looking for fame and fortune, like Rodney, perhaps. All right, so I'll play this out. Thanks for joining us. Remember, it's livingroomguitarist@gmail.com, whatever you'd like to submit, and please tell a friend. We'd love to have him or her join us in the living room. Let's join the tribe. Let's grow it. Thanks so much. We'll see you next time.